105.5 FM Lagos. Jomapel are your family, also known as Ewan Smith. And it's time for us to delve into Jordan in Focus. Yes, happens Mondays through Fridays from 10 to 11. Scratch that, yeah. From Mondays through Wednesday from 10 to 11. And of course, with me this morning is Taiwo Balo. Good morning to you, Taiwo Balo.
Good morning, Jumo Pell.
Okay, good to have you in the building as well. Yes, this morning we'll be looking at something. Last week or 2 weeks back, we've been talking about self-awareness, and it has been a very enlightening show, I must tell you, because a lot of people, really do not know why they are on Earth, the reason for their existence. So we've been able to talk about being self-aware and the gains of being self-aware. Now we want to delve further and want to look at independent qualities. Now, the aim of this basically is to enable you and I to develop ourselves to become independent and productive as well. Now, productivity is being able to do things that you were never able to do before.
Absolutely.
And one thing about productivity is it's never an accident. It's always the result of a commitment to excellence, integrity, planning, and focused effort. And also focus on being productive instead of being busy. Now, before you launch into the topic for this morning, I want you to tell us what it means to be productive and what it means to be busy.
Yes, I want to appreciate you for that question and also appreciate all our listeners. Now, you could be busy without being productive. Absolutely. Yes, a lot of people are busy and not productive. Productivity is all about having a plan and also achieving the plans. And that is where result comes in. You could be busy without good results. So if you want to now look at the two words, they are very, very distinct.
Because we have a lot of people who are busy. They'll tell you I'm busy on their WhatsApp status, busy. But that doesn't mean you're actually productive.
Not at all. Not at all. So that's why, based on what we've been discussing from the previous episode of this program, that we need to do our self-SWOT analysis, self-awareness, and that you will know if you are progressing or not. The last topic was on emotional intelligence, emotional quotient, and in doing that, once you are able to do your self-SWOT analysis, then you will know if you are improving, if you are productive, or you are just being busy without result. So being productive is to be busy. Like I used to define business this way: busyness, as in busyness. That's one of my definitions of business. So if you mean business, then you should be busy with necessary things. Yes, that's my own definition about business, and I would want our listeners to also look into that.
All right, yes, let's delve into today's topic. We're talking about independent living skills. Now, what does that mean?
Yeah, you see, fostering the independent living skills is an encouragement to aid the development of living independently and productively. And when you say what does that mean, now let's look at what are independent living skills. Now, independent living skills are basic skills that the individuals need to do on a daily basis to live an independent and meaningful life. There are things that you do on a daily basis. Have you heard about the rule of 80-20?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, there is a book that I want our listeners to get. Now, if you understand that there are independent living skills, then it will help you to live independently, and not just living independently. You live a meaningful life. Some people are adults, but they are still living like a child, like kids. So it's also a process, or a transition process from a youthful age into adulthood. That we need to. A lot of people say is not matured, and when you look at the word maturity, it doesn't mean that the person is of age, or maybe you look maturity in terms of age. No, maturity has to do with you living independently, productively, and meaningfully. So that is the reason why we need to realize that independent living skills are the ability for adaptive and productive behavior that enables people to respond effectively to the demands and challenges of life. One thing that you need to realize that is that a lot of people are growing, but they are not growing in terms of living skills.
They are growing age-wise?
Yes, age-wise.
Numerically, they are growing.
Absolutely. But now looking at the living skill, you know, the other time I said there's a difference between existing and living.
Sure.
You could be existing and not living. Existing is just existing outside purpose. Living is living according to purpose. Your God-ordained purpose now. So now, the skill, the living skills are the abilities for you to adapt and produce behaviors that will enable you to respond effectively to the demands and challenges of life. Because on a daily basis, we are faced with challenges.
Yeah, sure.
So now, if you don't have the living skills to manage your life,
you won't be able to navigate through those
at all. Then you won't be productive. And that's why, thank God, we are still in the early days of the year 2020.
Yeah.
If you don't understand these skills, you can't set resolution for the year. You can't set goals for the year.
So, acquiring these skills must come in place before you even talk about projection for the year.
Absolutely, you need to acquire the skill because as we dive into it, I'm going to share. We have about over 20 skills that you need to know, that you need to develop yourself as a human being on a daily basis. In fact, you might not be able to do all in a day, but at least to some extent, you should be conscious of the fact that, okay, let's take, for example, time management.
Yeah.
Time management. I used to say time is life. So time management is life management. If you cannot manage your time well, you can't manage your life well.
True.
And I also have this belief that if you don't respect my time, then you don't respect my life. If you just badge on my time, you just don't, I would just look at you like,
without informing me, without notice.
That's why, you see, I don't have too much friends. I think I have about 2 or 3 friends. After God, my family, and, my business, then I have just 1 or 2 people that we intercede together.
Yeah.
So because I calculate things before you can't just badge on my time and, because one thing about living skill is that you need to understand that time is life. Life management, our time management is life management.
All right, now talking about acquisition of skills, life skills, is there a correlation between that and the quality of life you want to live in?
Sure. Now, because you see, you mentioned something about projection.
Yes.
If you don't, you might be projecting and you don't have what it takes to actualize that projection. You need skills in becoming what you would want to be in life. Okay, you want to become a doctor and you don't acquire the skill. You didn't go to school. You want to become a broadcaster. You just wake up one day and say, there are processes to things in life.
Now, what is the difference between skill and talent? Now, I'm talented in this, but what?
Okay.
Now, what's the correlation or what's the dichotomy?
Okay. Now, before talent, now in between talent and skill, there is gift. Now, you see, talent is the first stage. The next stage is gift. Talent is revocable. Gift is irrevocable. Now, in the sense, God gives talent. He gives gift. But one thing about the two is this. If you are talented, that does not mean you are gifted, because that talent could wipe away. Yeah, that's why you see some people who have passion on this thing, and before you know, something comes up later and they say, I'm not interested in that thing again. Yeah. But absolutely, before that, they are doing well in that thing. Maybe something just come up and they say, I'm not interested again. My passion has shifted. This is what I'm interested in now. And you know what it means? It means that person is talented but not gifted. Because you can switch it. Now, in between talent and gift, now, where is the place of skills? Now, There's this book by John Maxwell, Talent is not enough. I wish you can read it, or our listeners can read it. That book will tell you that one thing about talent is preparedness. If you are talented, you are gifted, and you are not prepared, then when opportunities come, you might lose it. You understand? And that's one thing that we need to realize about talent, gift, and skills. The place of skill cannot be replaced.
It's not just enough to be talented in something or gifted.
At all. You have to, because skills will help you to improve, to become a voice in the midst of the crowd. You know, there's a difference between an echo and a voice.
Very true.
So you could be an echo by being talented. But if you want to be a voice in the midst of the crowd, you need to move to the level of gifted by backing it up with skills acquisition, and personal development programs, PDP, not political party now.
Stick around, we'll be right back, and of course, we'll definitely want to hear from you right here on Jordan in Focus. We're talking about fostering independent skills, and of course, life skills, that is, living skills, and fostering independent living skills. We'll open the phone lines after the music timeout, and you can be a part of the show as well. But in the meantime, a song done by Lamar, Just Blessed, and of course, Taiwo Balogun. Yes, we're talking about fostering independent living skills. And before the music timeout, we're talking about what independent living skills are, and of course, how the relevance. Basically, you can be a part of the show. The numbers 0906-3352, or you can call 09071329563. Those are the numbers. Alternatively, make use of the WhatsApp 0807221438. Let us know, hear from you basically about living skills, and if you have challenges in deciphering what living skills you need to acquire as well. Taiwo will be here to actually give you the required answers to that. Now let's move away from the definition of independent living skills, and let's look at the important independent living skills that you and I need to acquire.
Okay, thank you, AY. Now, the importance, there are lots of benefits in the living skills that we need to acquire. But before we go into the importance, I think we need to know the types so that we can function well in determining which of the skills to go into. Now, the number one that I'd like to share with us is financial literacy. Or financial education. Yeah, financial literacy or financial education. During this morning, during our morning devotion, I shared with my family, my children. I told them, I said, at the early age, you must learn to save, cultivate the habit of savings. Savings habit. Because we are in a system that people think huge amount of money will just fall on you. And you blow.
You make it, you are blow.
You are blow. Is a popular word now. That guy will blow. That lady want to blow. Now, money don't just fall on your laps. And money is something that you must be able to work for. But before you work for money, you need financial literacy. And you need money management skills. There's a difference between want and need. Now, you need to understand that, one thing about financial literacy is that everything about finance, there are some things that we were not taught in school that you need to learn in the course of living life on a daily basis. Okay, let's assume, look at what is happening in Lagos State now, based on the transportation system. The cost of living of some people have increased.
Yeah, sure. Very true.
You understand? Now, if you don't have a sound financial literacy to now look at how to cut your expenses, how to now improve yourself to earn more so that you can be able to meet up that gap, there will be challenges. There will be challenges. So we need financial literacy and also money management. At times we buy what we don't need.
Now, how do you draw the line between being shrewd, being stingy, and being a good manager of money?
Now, there's a difference between stingy and management. Now, you see, when it comes to money and stinginess, I define money as money is spiritual, is deep. Now, but if you are not gifted in giving, you can't give out money. You understand?
Some people are even stingy to themselves.
Yeah, it is because their definition of money. There's a problem with their definition of money. Money is something that comes and goes, and you see, if you don't release money at times, it won't be replaced. In fact, in abundance. So now there's a difference between that and managing money. Now you know that there's a way you can divide what is coming into your purse and say, okay, this percentage should go to church or tithes. This should go to my savings account. This one should go to so account, and this one will be miscellaneous. Anything that comes around there. Yeah. But you also need to set priorities in money management.
Setting priorities.
Setting priorities. Because one thing about that is, if care is not taken, you see that you are serving others. You are serving others. You are breeding others while you are pleasing others to displease yourself. And that's what many people do. Because they know that AY is working at Jordan. AY, we hear his voice every day. AY is making money. So demand will be coming. Especially now that you are not single again now. You understand? Yeah. So demands will be coming from family members, friends, and if you are not a good manager of money, they will turn you to be a stingy man. Don't mind him since he got married. He has changed. I think his wife has influence on him. And that is not the issue. Your living standard has changed from single to married. Right. So if you don't have the living skills now to manage your married life, there will be issue. And that is what is happening presently now, that you see a lot of divorce. Yeah, true. Divorce rate is on the increase because of some of these things. And majorly, if you look at about 80% of divorce issue is based on financial problem.
Very, very true.
So what's the solution? The solution is we need to increase our financial literacy. I love what Jordan is doing, what you guys are doing. It's an entrepreneurial radio station. Teaching people how to make, some of these things that you share on the radio, people should take advantage of them. Not that, don't mind them. That's how some people will be saying, ever since they started announcing about real estate opportunities. Some people will tell you that, because they duped my father 10 years ago, 50 years ago, I've decided that I won't buy empty land, virgin land. I need estate. And estate has not come. Did you get it? So the number 2 skill that we need to work on is our financial preparedness. Before you go, these days it is funny. You want to go into marriage. I like the eastern part of our eastern brothers, Moibos. I like them. They always want to ready before they're ready. They want to get ready before they go into that institution, marriage institution. Yeah, and you see, it is in as much as it's not something I usually preach, but it is something that you also need to understand, that you must get to a level of maturity before you go into marriage. Emotional maturity. You understand? Another area of maturity that you need financial maturity. Financial maturity in this sense does not mean that you have to have the whole millions. Yeah, at least you must have means of generating income. Something that is bringing in money for you so that you can maintain the new level that you just switched to. You understand? Yeah, now, let's bring it to unemployed. Yeah. There is a scenario. I realize that many people, before they get a job, maybe they have something that is bringing in 10,000 per month. They will be living according to that standard, 10,000. Let them get a job that is bringing 50,000. Their standard of living will shoot up. And before you know, you say, that salary is not enough. What is the problem? Financial preparedness, financial literacy. Okay, after that, he now gets another job that pays higher than that. And let's say now he's paying, the new job is paying about 250,000 per month. If care is not taken, if you are not a good manager of money, your standard of living will shoot up to meet up 250k per month. Because it is then you realize that now it is TM shirt I want to be wearing. It is designer shoes I want to be putting on. I need my cufflinks to be imported from America.
But that's the societal expectation of
you. That is why you need life skills, living skills that you need to know, so that you are not living to impress anybody. I used to tell my wife, I said, come, even in ministry, I'm not competing with anybody. I'm not living a competitive life. So I'm okay, I'm satisfied with what I have. In as much as I have aspirations. You understand? So we need to learn that so that we can learn to prepare our budget. You see, budget in life is something that it goes beyond what we can imagine. It is something that we should be thinking working on a daily basis. Don't spend what you don't. If you are spending more than what you earn, there will be problem.
Now that brings me to financial discipline as well. When we talk more about that, let's see this question here. Now, good morning to you, Jordan FM, and the guest in the studio. My name is Kenneth from Alagbado. Thanks to you guys for doing a good job. You're always doing things to improve everyday lives of young people. I actually believe that the major problem some business owners and skilled workers have is money management. Before you can build a business successfully, you must learn how to manage money. Once that is achieved, success is close to the person. Thanks for that message, Kenneth. Still on WhatsApp. Okay, this is not for us as well. Now you can be a part of the show 0906 3352, or you can call 09071 329560. We're talking about fostering independent living skills. What are they? And of course, the types of independent living skills, and of course, their functions as well. You can also make use of the WhatsApp 08072214389. Let's talk more about financial discipline, because you mentioned budgeting right now. There's one thing for you to pen down something on a piece of paper or probably somewhere, and there's another thing for you to follow that which you pen down.
Now, okay, I mentioned budgeting too, and you see, what you don't budget for, you can't leave it. It's just like planning. Now, there are times, yes, that's why in your budgeting you must give room for miscellaneous. But like I have a similar an example or an experience when I got married. Before I got married, I was not used to buying food stocks in bulk at home. We are used to, Lord, I'll go and buy one this tin of gari, this one can of tin of rice, So one day, a friend of mine now visited me and said, Ore, is this how you are living? I said, they will come. They want to cook or give us money. I'll give. He said, come. He said, you are wasting money. I said that. He said, why can't you be buying either a bag or half bag of rice, half bag of beans, half bag of about 14 years ago. And you see, I heeded to that advice. And since then, because you don't know, you see, by the time you keep buying petty things, you are spending double. Maggi that you are buying at 250 naira is being sold at Ilepo at 450 naira. And before you buy that you've spent 100 naira. So those are part of the things that you don't know that you are being short change. And in terms of that, you need discipline, self-discipline. If you want to manage money well, money management, it requires discipline, because there's what we call in money management is what we call risk and reward ratio. And I like saying it is calculated risk. It has to be calculated risk compared to the calculated reward. But some of us, we are, at times, this money, that's why money is spiritual in nature. At times when you are filled with money and you don't have what it takes to control money, money will control you. So that
another type of independent living skill, you've mentioned financial management, money management. You've also talked about financial literacy as well, preparedness as well. What else should you know?
Now, the next one that I'd like to share is educational planning. Now, when it comes to educational planning, we need a general idea of what education is needed for the job you want to go into. Now, let's look at the employed, unemployed. Now, a lot of bankers lost their job because there was a time that banking and finance department in the school was the highest. Hey, what do you want to study? Very lucrative. Very lucrative, banking and finance. After that is accounting. In fact, at the point, one for a accounting segment, they were trying to, sweep accounting department to a level, to a side. And then look at when the merger happened, and look at what happened. A lot of people lost their job without additional, no other skills to back it up. So we need financial planning, even for our children. Like if you see that this child has interest in this thing, then begin to educate him, begin to advise him, encourage him to do that thing more. And that's how a lot of Westerners, that's what they do. If they see that you are gifted, you are a talented, or you are gifted footballer, they will send you to football academy.
Very true.
From there, you begin to develop yourself. So they know the right education for you. So also we need to imbibe that as a person. Okay, I want to be a broadcaster. What do I need to study if I'm still a jambite, or what I'm a school leaver? Now what do I need to go into? Seek for counseling. Not that, okay, my friend is going for banking and finance, let me go. If you go and study banking and finance now, it is like you are not you understand? Unlike when it was lucrative. Yeah. So you need counseling. Okay, AY, I love what you're doing. Can you counsel me? What course should I go for? You could go for PR, journalism, or mass comm. Go do something related to the area that you want to function. And that will lead me to the next one. And that's where decision making will now come in. After you've gathered counseling, advice from here and there, you now sit down. Okay, who am I? Define yourself. Last week we talked about emotional intelligence, and the other time we talked about self-awareness. It will get to a level you look at yourself objectively.
And tell yourself the truth.
Am I an introvert or an extrovert? If you are an extrovert, you might not be able to face the camera. You understand? You could function well in radio station because you are not facing camera. These are the education that we need to prepare for, to plan and equip ourselves with, and now make decisions.
Now, but being an introvert, probably, yes, you're in the media sphere industry right now. Being an introvert, probably you cannot face the camera, you cannot face the crowd. You want to be comfortable behind the microphone. Isn't that limiting you as well, or do you see?
No, it's not.
Or you can just working within your area of strength.
You can work within your area of strength and also use that to build your weakness. From there you've mastered your confidence.
Yeah, true.
Behind the mic, you can now say one day like I used to be. The first day when I was trying to do my media training, I asked someone. I said, I want to. The lady told me, said, come. That there's a phobia for camera, that you can't face camera. I said, and I like challenge. I just told myself, I said, come, I'm going to do it. So the first day we got a camera, I told my son, I said, oh yeah, set me up. Bam. I was just talking. I said, court. Oh yeah. You understand? Yeah. So you use your strength to build your weaknesses. That's one thing about life. Then you now come and decide and say, okay, decision making. Decision making is very, very key in all spheres of life. Managerial, name it, anything. In any area of life, you need good decision making. And I mentioned earlier, time management. Time is life. Time management is life management. Then another skill that I want us to look at is problem solving.
We'll look further into that after the music timeout. In the meantime, a song done by Kush, City of Lagos. Jordan in Focus, still in full drive. AY Smith right here, alongside Taiwo Balogun. We're talking about independent living skills. And before the music timeout, he wanted to delve into problem solving. And of course, I had to cut in for the music timeout. Yes, you can be a part of the show. 0906 3352, or you can call 09071329563. Alternatively, make use of the WhatsApp 08072214389. Now, one thing about problems is that every problem has a solution. You just have to be creative enough to find it. That means there's no problem on earth that does not have a solution.
Sure.
So that means, okay, so how can we develop problem-solving skills?
Good question. Thank you. Now, there are two categories of people in the world: problems harders and problem solvers.
All right.
Now, I said you have to look at yourself objectively. Now, in looking at yourself objectively, you need to ask yourself, who am I? Am I a problem herder or a problem solver? And some people, they see problem, they can't see solutions. Some people
are very quick in
spotting problems.
Yeah.
Hey, this guy, this government, this president, this governor. You understand? What solutions are you bringing on the table? Now, to improve your problem solving skills, you need to be a person that learns from your environment. You need to be environmentally conscious of your environment, of your community, of that state that you live, of the country that you live. Like in Nigeria now, what is our major problem? In Lagos State, what is the major problem? What is the recent problem now? What solution? Like I was sharing last week, I shared on my YouTube channel, on Facebook, that 5 top business opportunities despite the ban on keke, keke napep and Okada. Wow, now what happened? I just look around. I saw the problems that people are facing about transportation. And now look at it. What could be the next line of action? I now saw that if keke is banned and Okada is banned, then there is what is called mini bus.
Yes,
Korope. That is another investment or business opportunity for some people. Yeah. And don't forget that if Lagos State do something, the other state will copy that blueprint.
Yeah, true.
So that is a solution. How can you make money? You can look for sellers that are selling. Had their own margin, because ever since before the ban, that vehicle was selling for around 700. Now it's around 800, 850, 900, wow. 1 point something million. You can see the margin.
Yeah, true.
By what? By problem. You understand? But you can also make your own cut in between by becoming a problem solver.
Making money is just a function of problem solving.
You understand? So, and you see where business is going into now is into where people are going into problem solving business.
Let's see who's here. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning. I'm a first-time caller.
Oh, what's the name?
My name is Mercy.
Mercy, please go ahead with your question.
I'm a first-time caller.
Go ahead, Mercy. You have questions?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Keep the calls coming 0906 3352, or you can call 09071329560. We're delving into problem solving skills and acquiring problem solving skills.
So now in developing your problem solving skills, like I said, you need to be observant. You need to learn from your community environment, look at what is happening, and be a person that is always looking for solution. Make research. You have to improve your research level. Most of the times you don't look at research. This thing is just at the tip, or is closer to you. But at times you don't look at, you don't take cognizance of it. So, and you see, one thing that we also need to realize, I said, people are shifting business from the normal way to problem solving business now.
Let's see who's here. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning. Hello, you're live. Oh, wow. Hello, you're live. Go ahead, please. What's the name, sir? Wow. What's the name? Michael from Ogba. Okay, please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a capital.
Okay.
I don't know how to consult. I have to tell them about that. But I don't know who to consult to give me ideas on how to go about that and all this and that. I can listen to this program. I didn't get opportunity to speak with maybe one of the presenter or one of the persons that come for the program.
Okay.
You know how to really clear. I mean, that one out.
All right. Okay. Listen up. I will definitely give you required information.
Okay.
Yes, he wants to develop his business plan. I want you to answer that briefly.
Okay.
Probably at the end of the show, we'll give out the social media handles.
Okay. Thank you. Now, to the question that callers ask is a very good one. I believe you must have done your feasibility study. And you see, after feasibility study and the business plan, the next thing to do is to at least test the market. The next thing you need is not capital. There are ways you can start business without capital. If your business idea fall into that category, then the next thing is to test the idea. How do you test the market? You throw, if it is like a production, look for how to produce at least 10 of that product. Samples. Give it to family members and friends. Let them comment on it. It's just like those that used to write books, like authors. At times, you know what the authors do? They would give out books or post it on Amazon and ask you, read this book and drop a review. Because that review or testimonial would definitely sell the product. If you can get good review or testimonials, then definitely you have a product, you have good business idea. But without doing that, money will not flow. Because once people see that, okay, this is a good testimonial, I think I can be part of this business, let me invest in it. That is where you now need a consultant that will now sit you down and now ask you more questions about the business, and you can now take it to the next
step. Now, what
if
it's a business of service delivery?
If it is service delivery, you can also render free service to some of your family members and friends that you know through recommendation. You understand? Oh, let me do this, and let that person do. At times I used to do that. I'll just say, send a video of my mentoring program. What did you achieve with the program? You see, one person will see that and say, no, I think this guy has something to offer. And that is what investors are looking at. And that's what I wanted to say, that problem solving, people are moving from the normal business to problem solving business. And that's why you see social entrepreneurs now. Who are social entrepreneurs? There are people that are looking for social problems to solve. There's what we call social investing, a pool of funds where investors pool funds together to solve social problems. What are social problems? Onje food, housing and shelter. Electricity, that a problem that we have in Nigeria. You know, common problems that are common in our society are what they call social problems. And that's why people are going into, and that's what Dangote is going into,
And it's cashing out.
Cashing in and cashing out.
Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning.
Sorry, this is Michael Akwatiso.
All right, go ahead, Michael.
Okay, sorry, I heard exactly what he explained to you. I understand it. But I want to understand the last time I listened to your program, there was an address you gave a number that you and enterprise meeting. I would love to locate those and talk of them.
Okay, I'm not sure of that, but I'll check for you and just keep listening. I'll check out the information for you. Okay, we have barely 3 minutes on this. I have a message here on WhatsApp. I'm still Kenneth Omanagado. Your guest has made several points. So many people have this knowledge and skills but lack funds to actualize them. What advice do you have in that area? Before you answer, let's see who's here. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning.
I'm Jerry by name.
Jerry, calling from where?
Yes, I'm calling you from Redeem Camp.
Good to have you, Jerry. Please go ahead with your question.
Well, I want to appreciate your guest in the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, in terms of business, like the other guy asked, I want to understand what's the meaning of that flexibility in terms of business.
Visibility studies.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Listen up, Jerry. Feasibility studies in 1 minute.
Okay, feasibility study is just what it means. Is this business visible? Is it viable? Is it going to be profitable? Is it going to be embraced? Does it have the market? Who are your target audience? All these things are what you are going to ask. And what problems do you want to solve? That should be the first thing you ask if you have any business idea. What problem do I want to solve? Now, the question on WhatsApp.
The knowledge and skills, but no funds.
No fund. Now, you see, if you have knowledge and skill and there's no fund, bring your skill, put the two together and harness the power of technology to spread the news. You understand? I've seen someone that just called me one day and said, Taiwo, what program do you have? Do you have any empowerment program, any training program that's coming up soon? I said yes. He said, how much is your budget for it? I just said 1 million. He said, okay, I'm ready to commit 500,000. Now, imagine if I've not prepared. Do you understand? I told you that talent is not enough. You need to give room for preparation. Talent is never enough. Like when the person asks, what's your budget? If I didn't have any budget, it would I would just lose that opportunity. And that was that. Within 3 days, he just credited my account. I said, what do you want to achieve? He said, no, I just want you to be active. Nothing. He didn't ask for any. No, it was a grant. So
we have to really talent is never enough. Time is never enough as well on the show. So thank you very much, Taiwo Balogun.
You're welcome.
Give out your social media handles for those.
Okay, on Facebook I am Taiwo Balogun Impact. The Impact is IMPACT. Then on YouTube I am Taiwo Balogun. Search for Taiwo Balogun. You see a young man with tie and suit.
Thank you very much, Taiwo Balogun.
I appreciate it.
Pleasure doing this with you.
You're welcome.
Wednesday.